Most riders think a good deal means finding any bike with a discount sticker. But what if I told you that dealerships are desperately dumping specific models for reasons that could save you thousands or cost you everything? Bikes that look perfect on the showroom floor, but are being cleared out because manufacturers know something you don't. In this video, we've got the 17 motorcycle models dealerships are trying to dump ASAP, ranked from number 17 down to number 1, based on industry insider information and actual dealer inventory data. And trust me, some of these choices will shock you. From Revolution Max engines that traditional Harley buyers reject, to discontinued Suzuki sport bikes that'll never be made again, these motorcycles are sitting on dealer floors for very specific reasons. The number 1 bike on this list has dealers offering up to $1,500 off just to get it out the door. Stick with me to the end, because this isn't just a list. It's insider knowledge that could either land you the deal of a lifetime or help you avoid a costly mistake. Miss this, and you could either pay full price for a bike that's about to get massive discounts, or worse, buy a model that's being dumped for good reason. Number 17. BMW K1600 Grand America. Starting our countdown with BMW's flagship touring machine, the K1600 Grand America. While BMW had record global sales in 2024 with over 210,000 units sold worldwide, they're facing a 15% decline specifically in the US market. That's created some interesting opportunities for buyers. The K1600 Grand America normally carries a premium price tag that reflects its 6-cylinder engine, advanced electronics, and luxury touring features. But right now, BMW is offering 0.9% APR financing on 2024 models, which is essentially free money when you consider current interest rates. This isn't necessarily a sign of desperation from BMW, but rather a strategic move to clear 2024 inventory before newer models arrive. The Grand America competes in a very niche market, riders who want the ultimate in touring luxury and are willing to pay for it. Consumer feedback consistently praises its comfort and technology, but the high cost limits its appeal to a relatively small group of serious touring enthusiasts. If you're in the market for a premium touring bike and can handle the price tag, that 0.9% financing makes this an attractive deal. Just understand you're buying into a very exclusive club of riders who prioritize comfort and technology over everything else. Number 16. BMW K1600B. The K1600B represents BMW's attempt to crack the American bagger market, traditionally dominated by Harley-Davidson and Indian. Like its Grand America sibling, it's currently eligible for 0.9% APR financing, suggesting BMW wants to move these units before the model year ends. The K1600B faces a unique challenge in the US market. American riders who want baggers typically want that classic V-twin, rumble, and traditional styling. BMW's 6-cylinder smoothness and German engineering approach appeals to a different mindset entirely. Consumer reviews praise its refinement and power, but note it lacks the emotional connection that many bagger buyers seek. This creates an opportunity for riders who appreciate BMW's approach to motorcycle engineering, but want the convenience and storage of a bagger setup. The 0.9% financing sweetens an already interesting proposition for riders willing to think outside the traditional American touring box. Number 15. BMW R 1250 GS Adventure. The R 1250 GS Adventure finds itself in an unusual position for BMW. Historically, this would be their flagship adventure bike, but the introduction of the R 1300 GS has shifted the spotlight away from the 1250 Adventure. Hence the 0.9% APR financing deal to help move remaining 2024 inventory. This is actually great news for adventure riders who don't need the latest and greatest technology. The R 1250 GS Adventure remains a highly capable machine with proven reliability and excellent off-road capability. Consumer feedback consistently ranks it among the best adventure bikes ever made, but the newer R 1300 GS has captured most of the attention and sales momentum. For riders who want proven BMW adventure bike technology without paying for the newest features, This represents solid value. The 1250 Adventure will continue to be an excellent bike long after the financing promotion ends. Number 14. Suzuki Vstrom 250. The Suzuki Vstrom 250 represents one of several Suzuki models that have been casualties of emissions regulations and changing market dynamics. Rumored to be discontinued, dealers likely have leftover inventory they need to clear. With only 2,436 units sold in 2021, the Vstrom 250 was already struggling in the competitive, small displacement adventure market. While consumer feedback praised its touring capabilities and fuel efficiency, it faced tough competition from more powerful alternatives in the American market, where bigger displacement typically wins. The discontinuation creates a clearance opportunity for riders looking for an entry-level adventure bike or those who prioritize fuel economy over outright power. These bikes represented good value when new, and clearance pricing makes them even more attractive for the right buyer. Number 13. Suzuki GSX 250R. Another victim of emissions regulations, the GSX 250R was discontinued around 2020 in many markets, though some US dealers may still have new old stock available. This entry-level sport bike sold 2,784 units in 2021, showing there was some demand, but not enough to justify continued production. Consumer feedback highlighted the GSX 250R's beginner-friendly nature and attractive styling, but also noted its limited power for highway use. In the American market, where super sport bikes are expected to have serious performance, a 250cc sport bike occupies a very narrow niche. For new riders or those looking for maximum fuel efficiency in a sport-style package, clearance pricing on remaining GSX 250R inventory could represent excellent value. Just understand this is truly an entry-level machine designed for learning rather than serious performance riding. Number 12. KTM RC125. Now we're getting into KTM territory, and this is where the inventory crisis becomes serious. KTM is sitting on 265,000 unsold motorcycles globally and facing a 30.3% sales decline in the US. The RC125 represents the entry point of this inventory problem. In markets like the UK, KTM is offering discounts of nearly £800 on the RC125, and similar pressure exists in the US market. This small displacement sport bike faces the challenge of limited appeal in America, where riders typically want more power for highway riding. Consumer feedback praises the RC125's agility and beginner-friendly nature, but consistently notes its limited highway capability. The bike makes perfect sense in European markets with different licensing structures, but struggles to find its place in the American motorcycle landscape. For the right buyer, perhaps someone looking for a track day bike, a learning machine, or a fuel-efficient commuter, clearance pricing on the RC125 could be attractive. Just understand you're buying into KTM's inventory crisis, which might affect parts availability and dealer support down the road. Number 11. Suzuki GSX R600. The GSX R600 represents a tragic case study in how emissions regulations can kill an entire motorcycle category. Discontinued in Japan and Europe before 2020 due to Euro 4 regulations, any remaining US inventory represents the end of an era. This is particularly painful because the GSX R600 was once the gold standard in the 600cc supersport class. Consumer feedback from its heyday consistently praised its track performance and razor-sharp handling. But the entire 600cc supersport market has collapsed under emissions pressure and changing consumer preferences. Finding new GSXR 600 inventory would be like discovering buried treasure for supersport enthusiasts. These bikes will likely appreciate in value over time as the last examples of a dying breed. If you can find one at clearance pricing, you're looking at both a great riding machine and a potential collectible. Number 10. KTM RC390. The RC390 shows how deep KTM's inventory crisis runs. With discounts of over £900 in international markets, dealers are clearly feeling pressure to move these bikes quickly. The RC390 occupies a slightly more viable position than the RC125 in the American market. but still faces the challenge of limited appeal. Consumer feedback consistently praises the RC390's performance relative to its displacement, noting it punches well above its weight class. However, critics point out that in the American market, the small displacement limits its highway viability and overall appeal. KTM's Austrian engineering and aggressive styling attract a certain type of rider, but the brand's current financial situation raises questions about long-term support and parts availability. The RC390 at clearance pricing might be tempting, but buyers should consider the broader implications of KTM's struggling position. Number 9. Suzuki GSX S750. The officially discontinued GSX S750 represents another casualty of Suzuki's retreat from certain market segments. This naked bike was well regarded by consumers who appreciated its performance and value proposition, but declining naked bike sales and emission standards sealed its fate. The GSX S750 filled the middle ground between entry-level naked bikes and high-performance monsters. Consumer reviews consistently praised its balanced approach and reasonable pricing. The discontinuation seems more about market economics than any fundamental flaw with the motorcycle itself. Clearance inventory of the GSX S750 represents solid value for riders who want a capable naked bike without the extreme performance and cost of flagship models. These bikes will likely serve their owners well for years to come, even if parts availability becomes more challenging over time. Number 8. KTM 390 Adventure. The 390 Adventure faces discount pressure of over £1,000 in international markets, reflecting KTM's desperate need to clear inventory. This lightweight adventure bike competes in an increasingly crowded segment where bigger displacement machines often dominate American preferences. Consumer feedback highlights the 390 Adventure's excellent handling and beginner-friendly nature, but consistently notes it lacks the power of larger adventure bikes. In the American market, where the riders often want bikes capable of serious highway touring, the 390's limitations become more apparent. The current clearance environment means significant savings for buyers who understand and accept the bike's limitations. For urban adventure riding, learning off-road skills, or riders who prioritize fuel efficiency, the 390 Adventure at discount pricing could be attractive. Number 7. Suzuki GSX R1000R. The GSX R1000R represents the tragic end of Suzuki's involvement in the Supersport arms race. Rumored discontinued in 2022 due to emissions regulations and Suzuki's withdrawal from MotoGP, any remaining inventory represents the final chapter of a legendary lineage. This is particularly heartbreaking because consumer feedback consistently rated the GSX R1000R among the best supersport bikes ever made. The combination of track-focused technology and real-world usability made it a favorite among serious riders. The discontinuation reflects broader market forces rather than any shortcoming of the motorcycle itself. Finding GSX R1000R inventory would be extraordinary for supersport enthusiasts. These machines will likely become collectibles over time as the last examples of Suzuki's supersport expertise. Any clearance pricing would represent both immediate riding value and long-term investment potential. Number 6. KTM790 Duke. The 790 Duke faces discount pressure of nearly £1,300, reflecting both KTM's inventory crisis and the bike being overshadowed by the newer 990 Duke. This creates a complex situation where a fundamentally good motorcycle becomes a clearance candidate. Consumer feedback consistently praises the 790 Duke's handling and performance characteristics. The bike received positive reviews when introduced, but the rapid introduction of the 990 Duke made it seem outdated almost immediately. This reflects KTM's aggressive product development cycle, which sometimes cannibalizes their own sales. For riders who want KTM's naked bike performance without paying for the latest generation, the 790 Duke at clearance pricing represents solid value. The fundamental riding experience remains excellent, even if the bike isn't the newest offering in KTM's lineup. Before we continue counting down to the biggest deals and most desperate clearance situations, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're about to reveal some truly shocking discounts and the real reasons why major motorcycle brands are struggling to move inventory in today's market. Number 5. HarleyDavidson Nightster. Now we're entering Harley-Davidson territory, and the problems here run deep. The Nightster represents Harley's attempt to modernize with their Revolution Max 975T engine. But traditional Harley buyers aren't buying it. With price cuts of up to $1,500 on 2025 models, dealers are clearly struggling to move these bikes. The fundamental problem is that the Nightster, despite being well-engineered, doesn't feel like a traditional Harley. Consumer feedback consistently praises its modern design and improved handling, but notes it lacks the classic Harley character that buyers expect. The Revolution Max engine is smooth and powerful, but it doesn't deliver the potato-potato exhaust note and vibration that defines the Harley experience for many riders. This creates a complex situation where Harley has built a technically superior motorcycle that their core customer base doesn't want. The result is significant inventory that dealers need to clear, creating opportunities for buyers who appreciate modern performance over traditional character. The clearance pricing makes the Nightster attractive for riders who want Harley-built quality and dealer network support without paying premium prices. Just understand you're buying into Harley's identity crisis, which affects both resale value and brand direction. Number 4. HarleyDavidson Sportster S. The Sportster S faces similar challenges to the Nightster, but with even higher stakes. This bike represents Harley's attempt to create a performance-oriented machine using the Revolution Max engine, but it's struggling to find its audience among traditional Harley buyers. Consumer feedback consistently praises the Sportster S's performance capabilities while criticizing its departure from Sportster tradition. The original Sportster line represented accessible entry into Harley ownership, but the Sportster S feels like a completely different machine that happens to wear the Sportster badge. Price reductions indicate dealers are having trouble moving these bikes despite positive Motorcycle Magazine reviews. The disconnect between critical acclaim and sales performance highlights Harley's challenge in evolving their product line while maintaining their customer base. For performance-oriented riders who want American-made quality without the traditional Harley experience, clearance pricing on the Sportster S represents genuine value. The Revolution Max engine delivers impressive performance that rivals European competitors at potentially lower prices. Number 3. KTM790 Superadventure S. The 1290 Superadventure S faces massive discount pressure of nearly £2,850 in international markets, reflecting both KTM's inventory crisis and the bike's position in an extremely competitive adventure segment. This high-end adventure machine competes against BMW and Ducati in a market where brand perception matters enormously. Consumer feedback consistently praises the Superadventure S's technology and performance capabilities. The bike delivers impressive power and sophisticated electronics that rival anything in the adventure market. However, its high price point and KTM's current financial situation create significant sales challenges. The adventure touring market is dominated by BMW's reputation for reliability and global dealer support. KTM offers competitive performance, but faces skepticism about long-term support and parts availability, especially given their current inventory crisis. Massive clearance discounts make the Superadventure S tempting for riders who want cutting-edge adventure bike technology at reduced prices. However, buyers should carefully consider KTM's financial situation and its potential impact on future support and parts availability. Number 2. HarleyDavidson Paname. The Paname represents perhaps the most significant disappointment in recent Harley-Davidson history. Despite positive reviews and competitive specifications, including a 150 horsepower Revolution Max engine and adaptive ride height, sales have completely stalled since its 2021 launch. The fundamental problem is brand skepticism. Adventure riders typically choose bikes based on proven reliability and global dealer support for remote touring. Harley's reputation, while strong in cruiser markets, doesn't translate to adventure riding credibility. Consumer feedback praises the bike's capabilities while expressing doubt about Harley's commitment to the adventure market. The Pan America faces brutal competition from BMW's established GS line and KTM's adventure offerings. In a market where brand reputation matters enormously for riders planning remote adventures, Harley starts from a significant disadvantage despite building a technically competent machine. Clearance pricing on the Pan America could represent exceptional value for riders willing to take a chance on Harley's adventure bike experiment. The motorcycle itself receives positive reviews for handling and capability, but buyers should understand they're purchasing into an uncertain market position. Number 1. KTM790 Superduke GT. Taking the top spot with the largest discount of over £3,090 is the KTM790 Superduke GT. This massive price reduction reflects the perfect storm of KTM's inventory crisis, niche market appeal, and brand uncertainty that defines the current motorcycle market. The Superduke GT occupies the sport touring segment, which has always been challenging in the American market. American riders tend to prefer dedicated touring bikes or pure sport machines rather than compromises between the two categories. European manufacturers often struggle to understand American preferences in this segment. Consumer feedback praises the Superduke GT's power and comfort capabilities, noting its impressive technology and performance potential. However, the bike's niche appeal and KTM's current financial situation create a perfect storm for massive discounts. The £3,090 discount represents nearly $4,000 in potential savings, making this one of the largest manufacturer incentives in the motorcycle industry. However, buyers should carefully consider what this discount level says about the bike's market viability and KTM's financial health. KTM's 265,000 unit global inventory and 30.3% US sales decline suggest fundamental problems beyond just model-specific issues. The company is facing serious financial pressure that affects everything from parts availability to dealer support to warranty coverage. For riders who understand and accept these risks, the Superduke GT at massive discount represents an opportunity to access high-performance technology at significantly reduced cost. However, this isn't just a great deal. It's a reflection of serious problems in both the motorcycle industry and KTM specifically. These massive discounts and clearance sales make you wonder, are some of these bikes being dumped because of fundamental engineering problems rather than just market forces? While we've focused on the business reasons behind these clearance deals, it's worth considering whether some of these motorcycles have deeper issues that are driving buyers away. If you want to understand what really makes a motorcycle engine terrible and why some designs should be avoided at any price, check out our deep dive into the 20 worst motorcycle engines of all time, where we reveal the engineering disasters that have plagued riders for decades.